Good morning, children. If you remember, in the last class I started with hydrogen chapter and preparation of hydrogen were done, reactions of different metals on water, under which we did the reaction of different metals with cold water, we did the reaction of different metals with hot water, we did the reaction of different metals with steam, and then the third category where we did the reaction of hot alkali solutions with different metals. And in the last class we did electrolysis, and I hope you remember those topics and keep on revising those topics time and again and keep on practicing for writing the chemical equations there. Now, in the process of electrolysis, we used acidified water and electric current was transferred into it, which gets decomposed into hydrogen and oxygen. And today I am going to start with laboratory preparation of hydrogen. That means, how are we going to prepare hydrogen in labs? That is, the apparatus used here I have drawn here already. We have used a round bottom flask in which two holes are there in the cork. Through one hole, a thistle funnel is fixed. Through the other hole, delivery tube is there. Now this delivery tube is going into a trough containing water in which the beehive shelf is kept. Over this beehive shelf, we have used this gas jar to collect hydrogen gas. Now, why are we using this thistle funnel here? We have to add dilute HCl through this thistle funnel into this round bottom flask, and we have taken granulated zinc already in this flask. Now, when we are adding HCl through this thistle funnel, a reaction will take place between zinc and hydrochloric acid, and the reaction is like this. Zinc granulated is taken, reaction will dilute the hydrochloric acid, and you get what? Zinc chloride and hydrogen. Hydrogen is produced, and you have to balance this equation. So that means zinc reacting with dilutes hydrochloric acid will form zinc chloride, a salt, and hydrogen gas is liberated. Now after here the reaction is taking place, what is happening? The hydrogen gas so produced will be transferred from this delivery tube into this beehive shelf and into this gas jar. But you all know, since we have taken water in this gas jar, the gas is collected by the downward displacement of water and gas will take the place here. So it is hydrogen gas produced here, but there is a displacement of water going down and hydrogen will take the place of that water. Now this is all about the laboratory preparation of hydrogen. But there are few questions related to this whole topic which I have written here. First of all, what is the test for hydrogen? Test for hydrogen is that we have to take a burning splinter near the mouth of the gas jar. The gas will start burning with the pop sound, since hydrogen gas is a combustible gas. Now the second part is the precautions taken for this particular experiment. Number one, apparatus should be airtight. Reasoning question, why is so? Because if it is not airtight, the gas is combustible and will burn with the pop sound. Second precaution is there should not be any flammable substance near the apparatus, otherwise again the reason is same, it is a combustible gas, so it will catch fire. Coming to the next heading, reasoning of different questions here. First question is, why do we use granulated zinc here? Now the reason for using granulated zinc is that it contains copper as impurities. Now this copper is acting as a catalyst, so it is speeding up the process of this reaction. So copper as impurity is there in the granulated zinc, will speed up this process of reaction and you get hydrogen formed. Second question, why can't we use calcium and magnesium in place of zinc? Since these two metals are very, very expensive, so we generally do not use these two metals for the preparation of hydrogen. Third question, Why are these active matters like sodium, potassium or calcium? They are not used for the formation of hydrogen in laboratory. And if you remember, we have done this particular question in the preparation of hydrogen with cold water, and the reaction with cold water is okay. But if you are reacting these matters with acids, the reaction is explosive. So we cannot use these matters, particularly sodium, potassium, calcium, to react with dilute hydrochloric acid or dilute sulfuric acid, otherwise the reaction is violent. Coming to the fifth question, why we cannot use lead for the preparation of hydrogen. Now here, in case I use lead and reaction of lead with HCl will lead to the formation of, I'm erasing this whole part. So the reaction of lead with, for example, hydrochloric acid, dilute hydrochloric acid is used. It will form lead chloride along with hydrogen, but reaction stops here. The reason is because lead chloride will form a coating over this lead and the reaction stops. Again, in place of hydrochloric acid, if we use H2SO4, again the coating around this lead will be of lead sulfate. Now once this lead sulfate coating is formed over this lead, the reaction again will be stopped. So the best way for the preparation of hydrogen is to use granulated zinc, and the reaction will take place with dilute hydrochloric acid or dilute sulfuric acid to form hydrogen. Thank you so much.
Now, after getting hydrogen in the lab from zinc plus HCl is equal to zinc chloride plus hydrogen. Now this hydrogen that we get from zinc and HCl in the laboratory, it has so many impurities. Now these impurities also evolve with hydrogen. So these impurities are arsine gas, phosphine gas, hydrogen sulfide gas, sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, some oxides of nitrogen such as nitrogen dioxide, and moisture, or you can say water vapor. Now how to remove these impurities and how can we get dry and pure hydrogen? So this hydrogen with the impurities, all these impurities, this gas is passed from a series of conical flasks that has some particular substance or compound to absorb these impurities. So this is the first conical flask that carry silver nitrate, the second conical flask that carry lead nitrate, third conical flask that carry potassium hydroxide, and we have fourth U-shaped tube that carry calcium chloride. This one is a drying agent. So first of all, hydrogen with all these impurities, we are going to pass all the mixture from silver nitrate. Now silver nitrate absorb arsine gas and phosphine gas. Rest of all the gases, hydrogen, hydrogen sulfide, sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, water vapor. So they then pass through lead nitrate solution. Now here in the lead nitrate solution, hydrogen sulfide is going to be absorbed. After absorption of hydrogen sulfide, sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, hydrogen oxide or water vapor along with hydrogen is passed through potassium hydroxide. Now this potassium hydroxide, it absorb all the non-metallic oxides, sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide and oxides of nitrogen. Now only water vapor left, or you can say moisture is left. So this hydrogen plus moisture, we pass it through a U-shaped tube that carry a drying agent, anhydrous calcium chloride. You know that what is anhydrous? Anhydrous means dry, without water. Now this calcium chloride, it absorbs all the moisture, and after that we can collect dry hydrogen. So this is the procedure with which all the impurities that are evolved during the lab preparation of hydrogen can be removed. Thank you.